Stop buying headphones that die before your playlist ends. Today we're testing the legendary Marshall lineup to find out if their retro cool is actually backed by modern tech, or if you're just paying for the logo. In this video, I'm ranking them from bottom to top, and I'm going to be brutally honest about which ones are worth your money and which ones you should skip. 5. Marshall Major 4. When I first unboxed these, I was immediately drawn to that classic square ear cup design. It's iconic for a reason. They are incredibly lightweight, and the folding mechanism is so compact that I could toss them into my jacket pocket without thinking twice. In terms of battery life, Marshall claims 80 hours, and in my testing, they absolutely delivered. I used these for a week of commuting and office work, and I didn't have to reach for the USB-C cable once. The addition of wireless charging on the right ear cap is a cool party trick, though I found it a bit finicky to align perfectly on my charging pad. However, after living with them for a while, the cracks started to show. The biggest downside here is the complete lack of app support. In 2024, buying a pair of Bluetooth headphones that doesn't allow you to tweak the EQ or update firmware feels like a massive oversight. You are stuck with the out-of-the-box sound, which is fun and punchy for rock tracks, but lacks the definition you might want for more subtle genres like jazz or classical. The bass is boosted to a point where it can muddy the mids, and without an equalizer to dial it back, you just have to live with it. Another significant drawback I noticed during my testing was the noise isolation, or rather, the lack of it. 4. Marshall Motif II A.N.C. I really wanted to love these. The charging case is arguably the best-looking case on the market, featuring that rugged, cracked leather texture that mimics a guitar amp, and the knurled stems on the earbuds provide excellent grip. In terms of style and portability, Marshall absolutely nailed it. They fit securely in my ears, and I even took them for a light run without them wiggling loose, which is a testament to their ergonomic design. However, the ANC in the name stands for active noise cancellation, and this is where the Motif II let me down during testing. I took these to a local coffee shop to get some work done, and frankly, the noise cancellation is below average for this price point. It managed to dull the hum of the refrigerator, but the clatter of cups and the chatter of the barista came right through. If you are comparing these to heavy hitters like Sony or Bose, the Motif II falls significantly short. You get a lingering hiss when A.N.C is on without music playing, which can be distracting in quiet rooms. The sound signature is also very specific, which means the upper mids are pushed forward. Electric guitars sound crunchy and aggressive, exactly what you'd expect, but for hip-hop or pop, the sub-bass lacks the visceral thump you might crave. I played around with the app, which thankfully is supported here, but even with the EQ adjustments, the 6mm drivers struggled to produce a full, immersive low end. 3. Marshall Major V. This is the direct successor to the Major 4, and I am happy to report that Marshall listened to the feedback. While they look nearly identical to the 4s, the internal upgrades make a world of difference. The headline feature here is the battery life. Marshall claims 100+ hours, and I honestly think they might be underselling it. I have been using these heavily for 2 weeks, podcast marathons, gym sessions, work calls, and the battery indicator has barely budged. It is actually anxiety-inducing how long these last, because you forget where you put your charger. The biggest win for the Major V over the 4 is the integration with the Marshall Bluetooth app. Finally, we can tweak the sound. I was able to dial back the harshness in the treble and boost the mids to get a much more balanced sound profile that worked for everything from acoustic folk to synthwave. They also added a customizable M button on the left ear cup. I mapped mine to Spotify Tap so I could jump right into my music without digging my phone out of my pocket. It's a small quality of life improvement that makes the headphones feel much more modern. However, they are still on-ear headphones, so the comfort issues I mentioned with the Major 4 are still present, though slightly mitigated by what feels like plushier foam. You still don't get active noise cancellation, which is a bummer at this price point, but the passive isolation seems slightly improved in my testing, likely due to a tighter seal from the new ear pads. 2. Marshall Monitor II A.N.C. These are over-ear headphones, and the comfort upgrade is immediate. The ear cups are plush, deep, and oval-shaped, completely engulfing your ears rather than sitting on them. I wore these for a 6-hour flight, and I experienced zero fatigue. The build quality is a significant step up from the Major series, featuring heavy-duty metal hinges and a premium rubberized finish that feels incredibly durable and resistant to fingerprints. The A.N.C performance on the Monitor 2 is solid. Is it shut out the world level like the absolute market leaders? Not quite, but it is very effective. During my flight, it cut out the engine drawn significantly, allowing me to watch a movie at 50% volume comfortably. The monitor button on the left hinge allows you to toggle between ANC and transparency mode instantly, which is super convenient when the flight attendant asks for your meal order. Sound-wise, these are my favorite for pure rock music. The soundstage is wider than the Major series, giving the instruments room to breathe. The bass is tight and punchy, but controlled, not overwhelming. I tested these with some classic Led Zeppelin, and the separation between the drums and the guitar riffs was fantastic. It feels like you're in the studio. The multi-directional gold control knob is here, and it remains the best control scheme on any headphone, period. It's just so much more reliable than touch controls. So why aren't they number one? Well, they are showing their age in the battery department. 1. Marshall Monitor 3 ANC. This headphone is not just an upgrade, it is a statement. Marshall took everything great about the Monitor 2 and turned it up to 11. First off, let's talk about the battery. We are looking at a staggering 70 hours of playback with active noise cancellation turned on, and 100 hours without it. This is game-changing. In my testing, I literally could not kill the battery in 2 weeks of heavy use. It fundamentally changes how you use headphones when you stop worrying about charging them. The design has been refined even further. They are lighter than the Monitor 2, and the case, oh man, the case. It's a hard-shell case lined with red velvet that makes you feel like you're unboxing a vintage guitar every time you open it. It's premium in every sense of the word. But the real magic is inside. Marshall has introduced a new soundstage spatial audio feature. I was skeptical at first, but toggling this on while listening to live recordings creates a sense of space and depth that is genuinely immersive without sounding like a cheap reverb filter. The A.N.C is also noticeably improved. It handles higher frequency noises like office chatter or keyboard clicking much better than the Monitor 2. Walking through the city, the world-off effect was much more pronounced. And for the audiophiles, these are Bluetooth LE audio ready, meaning they are future-proofed for the next generation of high-quality wireless audio sharing. Final thought. That's all for today, folks.